This Bruno Mars, I just might, but I will not. Such a nice song. I absolutely love his body of work. I feel like he's one of those artists that we're going to be talking about many years from now, maybe even our children's children. He's like a Michael Jackson. Please note I said like before you come at me on the socials. Thank you so much. It is 20 minutes past midday. Yolanda Mulwa is my name. The show is Sugar and Spice, a little sweet, a little spicy. It's the first day of the week. I don't know how you're feeling about this week. The reality dawned on you that children are slowly opening school. My daughter opened school today. Some children are opening school tomorrow. And the greater lot is opening school next week on Monday. Are you ready? Are you ready to shop, to buy sijui what, potead, where? Please note us guys, I had forgotten even about washing her school bag. It was washed on Saturday and then it started raining. I'm like, crap. I put it in front of a fan. I was like, I'm about to microwave this burger. It's just because it had like metal parts. I didn't want to. I was going to toss it in the oven, but Ali and a bag dry. That's the point. Sometimes you have to get into super mommy mode and do the, needful and the dirty. So let's have this conversation. My daughter is 8. She's turning 9 next month. And she's been in the same school. She was in a previous school and then she transferred when she was starting prep school. So that's like equivalent to standard 1, grade 1 or year 1, depending on what you guys call it. And then she's been in the same class with the same group of children, and then of course there's people you're going to get close to. So there's the ones they've now they're so close, they spend every day together. We've had play dates, so she started asking for play dates. And a mom has talked to me and told me, hey, my daughter is also asking for a play date. And my daughter is in a multiracial school, so there's that, like, not that it's an issue. Like, I don't have problems having like children from other races at my house or vice versa. It's the who is this person who I'm giving my most most sensitive part. My child is my everything. That's my heart outside my body. So I can imagine giving my child to someone for a weekend, for even one night, even a lunch date when I'm not there and supervised is, I'm not going to lie, and not because my child is an only child, because I only have one child, but I have to know you a certain way for me to allow my child to come to your house. Of course, sleepovers are okay when a child can fully articulate and express themselves. So when they have fully developed speech, that will help because they can say, should there be a problem? But at the same time, you also have to look at other things. Are they ready to sleep over at someone's house? I always tell parents, don't let your child go for a sleepover, even to a relative's house when they're still bedwetting, when they don't have a set routine. It's good to have your house in order before you can start letting your child visit other people's houses. It could even be your sibling's house as a parent or their grandmother's house. Let them have an established routine. Let them have their speech fully developed. And then I feel like from age 7 is a good and safe age. And just because you're my relative doesn't mean I can let my child sleep in your house. There's people who I would never, ever let my child sleep in their house. And not because I dislike them, but probably just don't like what you're about. And there's certain things I don't know if you'll be able to discern and be like, I can't have this conversation in front of this child. I can't have people over when I have other people's children. And then you also want to know how many children are in that homestead, the gender of those children, sleeping arrangements. You also want to know this family and their belief system. Do they have boundaries? What is the, you need to know if there's any red tape and what that red tape is. It's good to find out their habits. My child is in a school where even in their cafeteria, they have vegetarian and non-vegetarian options. So you're not coming to my house and you don't eat meat, for instance. Us guys see a cow and we get out our forks and our knives, even when we're just seeing it grazing in a field. So it's good to know those things. It's good to know whether a child has allergies. It's good to know whether a child has special food, requirements or conditions. You need to know this child has asthma, this child has epilepsy, this child has. So it's a lot. It's not just, let me have a conversation with this parent on the phone for 5 minutes, we hash it out, and then, thank you, now you can have my child, or I can have your child for the weekend. I feel like we need to almost like date as a family. Like, you all need to come to our house, find out what we're about, and us guys need to come kick it with you guys and also see what you guys are about. I feel like there's so many things that can't be undone. So it's good to be on the safe side. And knowing what I know now at my age, I turned 40 in January, and you speak to your friends, people have been molested at sleepovers. People have seen things they should never have seen at sleepovers. People have creepy dads. When you go to their houses, you're like, this guy is my friend's dad, is that guy. Yeah. So I feel like it's not something you need to rush. It's something you really need to take your time with, because one wrong move and you have a lifetime of trauma possibly to deal with. And you also need to have an exit plan. You also need to communicate with your child when you are comfortable with them going for a sleepover somewhere. You need to tell them that at any point in time, even in the middle of the night, you will not be inconveniencing anyone should you change your mind. I want a child who will burst into tears and cry and say, I want to go home right now because of this and this and this, or I'm just not comfortable here anymore. So, and my child needs to know that. And this family needs to know that they're not going to talk my child out of not pulling the plug in the middle of the sleepover. So I have people who I do allow. My friend Sophie, my friend Sophie from primary school, my daughter sleeps over at her house, and vice versa. Her daughter as well, Toria, is my second daughter. She's always allowed to come to my house. This is a friend I know. If I die tomorrow, she'll always look out for my daughter. She'll visit, she'll pick her up. Should she need to have a conversation about boys, about her period, about just something, she'll definitely find a mother in my friend Sophie. And also our daughters are close in age. They're 2 months apart, so that does help. And I know everything about Sophie. I know the software, what's inside her head. She can take my child she takes my child, what am I talking about, anytime she wants. And then my daughter's favorite aunt, she's her second mommy. In fact, they even take flights and go. I'm even just sent for and told this one has a flight to this and this place X month on this date. I hope that works with your schedule, but I'm not going to have my child go and sleep over somewhere where I'm also not okay with this particular person. So let me hear it from you. I want to know whether you think this is an issue that needs some careful deliberation, as I do. At what age should children be allowed to go for sleepovers, and to whose house are they allowed to go to? Talk to me at SpiceFM KE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And of course, you can also call me live in studio 0719012600 or text me via the short code 40127 Joe, featuring Shaggy with Ghetto Child.
Sugar and Spice on 94.4 Spice FM.
Do you let your children go for sleepovers? At what age should you let your children go for sleepovers? And to whose house? I want us to talk about that. This is what you had to say. Martin Okongo, ain't sure about that, but it all depends on the child's upbringing. If I trust him or her, it's up to him or her to bring the best out of what we, the parents, have inculcated to her. Uamuzi ni wake. Me, I cannot let my child uamuzi ni wake. She will just be pangai sleepovers. Steven says sleepover is only okay if they're above teens. They have known if I've known the family for years and more connection than just being acquainted. I like that. You're not letting your children go sleep over at acquaintances' houses. That's where we're going to read about you, kwa KTN News. Trust. The world has changed. And quickly at that, let me see. I want to read some messages from Facebook as well. Alrighty, hold on 1 minute. Babawanda says, I'd go with 13 and above. I think there's when this is when the kids are at their prime though. Watoto wa siku hizi we ni moto wa kuotea mbali ama namna gani, shangazi yols? 13 is a good age. Yeah, 13 is a good age. But I feel like there's no like magical age where like this one is ready. You just have to go with your gut. And I think all children are different as well. Jackie, Soni, Khadija, when I become a mom, we shall revisit. Meanwhile, let Yolanda Mulwa tell me, because you have the moral authority as a mom. John Bizagan Ekimware says, only permitted to their relatives' homesteads when they attain the age of about 17 years and above. I like it when dads are like serious about these things. Only when you're a teenager, when you can vote, you can sleep in someone's house. Okay, so Baba Liza says, kesho Wakenya wenye nia njema wakulinda uchumi tutembe na matawi ili my friend, this is not the show. Iwe utaandikia watu wa TSR asubuhi. Tunabeba matawi tukienda wapi? Ash Sunday, unaitwa nini ile kitu church zingine ubeba leaves? Palms, sorry. Palm Sunday, yeah, sorry. And they're palms, not leaves. Before you all come for me. Ooh, and it's alive. We can't even delete. Sorry. I should have known better. Mangyanye says, age 21, relatives and friends listening from SA. Thank you so much, Haseka, for tuning in and following the conversation. Let's hear more from you. We have some comments here from some of y'all. My producers took the liberty of speaking to you. Sometimes when I look like I'm stuck, my producer is talking to me in my headphones. So, yeah, here you go. But to be honest, don't let your children go and spend a night in a house you wouldn't spend a night yourself in. Oh, yeah, my producer is asking, what's the need of a sleepover? Sadia, my producer Sadia is asking, why is your child going to sleep over in the first place in someone's house? You have a mattress and a bed, you have a television, you have a fridge, you have food, you have snacks and popcorn. So why is your child going to sleep? You need to also find out why they have that urge to go and sleep in someone's house. Yeah. So please make sure you know who your child is going to sleep over at, because I have told you some things can never be undone. We've read so many things. We've heard of defilements. We've heard of... See, nowadays you guys want to preach about Illuminati. You are letting your children go to places where you don't know whether these people even abide by the moral conducts of life that you do yourself. And would you go into business with this person? If you'd not, why are you giving them your child? But I want us to listen to more of your comments, the audio ones. Thank you so much to my producer, Sadia and Edwin, for these.
So, a child should not go for a sleepover, but if it's a must or mandatory, at the age of 12 would be okay, because at that point the child knows what's good and what's bad, and also it depends to who. Maybe a close friend or a close relative.
I think they should start going to sleepovers as soon as they hit their teen. From 13 going forward, then it should be only in their best friend's home, and I have to know their parents as they have to know me too.
For me, children should not be allowed to go for sleepovers at any age, because I know that a child is somebody that is still below 18, but then it also depends with the maturity of whoever I call a child, and then what definitions do I give to a sleepover. It's a social place where people are going to be partying. So when there is no guidance on where they're going to party, then for a child, no, until I feel he's mature and can make decisions on their own.
Well, above the age of 5 is okay, but then I'm not giving my kid to anybody else at that age, apart from my siblings, maybe my parents. If it is a school friend or something, I should know the exact location, and then the parents also should, of the friend, should know my location and other details, just in case. Yeah.
Children should be allowed to go for sleepovers. Let's say teenage, 13, 10, let's say between the ages 10 to 13. And to whom they're going to the sleepover, a neighbor's place that's good. A friend, well, friends in terms of school, as long as the parent is aware, a friend can also do.
Children should start sleepovers at around 8 years, but strictly close relatives. For example, like my siblings, like their aunts or uncles from my side or their dad's side.
Sugar and Spice on 94.4. Spice FM.